Hey guys, I'm super excited today because after a very long wait, the federal skilled worker draw happened on July 8th. I should say we were waiting for literally 126 days for a skill draw to happen, and it happened. It's a very big news because there were a lot of speculations going on this particular topic. Some of them were telling that the draws are not going to happen, at least the FSW draws are not going to happen till the end of this year. But the government of Canada decided to put a full stop to all these speculations, and we had a draw on July 8th. It was express entry draw number 155. The cutoff score was 478. 3,900 invitations were given, and the tiebreaker rule applies to people who entered the pool before 11th February. How is it going to affect you and me, and what does the number suggest? Let's take a look in this particular video. Stay tuned. Hey, my name is Ajay. I'm the Maple Assistants. Here for the first time, please do hit the subscribe button. If you are looking to immigrate to Canada, or if you're finding it hard to crack your IELTS, you are actually at the right place. There are tons and tons of quality content lined up and waiting for you. And in today's video, we are going to analyze express entry draw number 155. And without any further ado, let's go do it. So now let us analyze express entry draw 155, guys. So the CRS score was 478 and it happened on 8th July 2020. Basically, guys, this was the first all-program draw since the start of the pandemic. So the last draw happened, last FSW was on 4th March and the cutoff was at 471. Here is the pictorial representation of the CRS cutoff score and the time between the draws. So here on March 4th, 2020, we had the last FSW draw. It was 471, and ever since that we had only a combination of PNP draws and CEC specific draws. And here on 8th July, we have got the next federal skilled worker draw. Considering the time duration, guys, the jump in the scores is relatively very less. So you might be thinking that 478 is a very high score, but frankly speaking, considering the time duration of this four long months, I feel that the score has not jumped a lot. So here is the target, and here is what we have achieved so far this year. 2020, so far 53,800 invitations were given, and compared to the other years, this year Canada has issued more number of invitations when compared to the other years, 2019, 18, 17, right? So relatively, even in spite of the pandemic, the government has continued to issue invitations, which is a very good sign. Most important slide, guys, like coming to the CRS score distribution in the express entry pool, and this is as of July 6, 2020. So here, if you look at it, like in the range 600 to 1200, that is people who have got the provincial nomination, it's around 360. People ranging between 500 to 600, it's around like 652. A number of people is 483. People between the range 481 to 490 is 1600, and here is the important number, 471 to 480. The number of candidates are 4,561. So we have another 7,400 odd people in this particular range, 461 to 470, and 8,000 odd people in this range, 451 to 460. Now let us do a comparison in the pool distribution between the last two draws, that is on June 22nd and July 6th. So in the range 600 to 1200, on June 22nd, we had about like 316 people in this particular range, and that number has increased to 360. So basically the difference is 44. So 44 people have entered the pool in this particular range over the last 13 days, correct? So that's what it suggests. And now moving on to the next range, 500 to 600, we have about like 543 people on June 22nd, and the number has increased to 652. So the difference is 109. And here, if you look at the other range, 491 to 500, on June 22nd, there were 425 people in this particular range, whereas on July 6th, we have 483 people. So the difference is again 58. So likewise, coming to range 481 to 490, on June 22nd we had 1429 people, whereas on July we have 1600. So there is an increase in number, like 171 is the number of number increased. Likewise, when it comes to 471 to 480, the most important range, it was 4015 on June 22nd, and that number increased to 4561. So there is a increase of 549 candidates in this particular score range. So basically, if you look at the percentage change, so it's about like 12% in this particular score range, and the maximum is in 500 to 600. We have 16% increase. But when it comes to the other areas, we find a very minimal increase, percentage change. Okay, this is because IELTS exams have not resumed in many parts of the country, across the globe I should say, and WES is also not operating in full throttle, so people are not able to create their profile. So basically guys, if you understand, pre-COVID the percentage would be really high and the difference also would be really high. Okay, so the numbers, we would see some significant changes in the numbers, but now at present the percentage change, the average percentage change is somewhere around like 9.61 only. Okay, so why am I talking about these numbers? You will understand in the upcoming slides. So just remember the numbers, the average percentage change is around like 10%. So which is very nominal or very low when compared to pre-COVID situation is what I would say. Alright, so I hope you understood this thing. Now looking at this pool distribution, so the number of candidates who are above the score 480, it is 3095, and number of candidates above the score 470 is 7656. So these many number of people are above the score 470. If a FSW draw happen on 23rd July, that is exactly 15 days from now, next I mean the Wednesday which follows the next Wednesday, right? So July 23rd with 3900 invitations, then the cutoff score would definitely come down to this particular range, 474 to 476. Even it can come down to 472, 73 range also. Okay, this is assuming only 10% candidates enter the pool with high CRS scores, right? So the same assumption I'm having it here, with only 10% of people entering the CRS pool, provided IELTS are not resuming and people are not able to create their profiles. The next level is 460, as we all know, and the total number is 7656 plus 7468. Okay, so the total number of people in this particular range is 15,000 odd candidates, right? And trust me guys, this means the cutoff score could come to 460s by 6th of August. Okay, if the FSW happens again 15 days once and IELTS continue to remain cancelled, and if the number of invitations issued is 3900, and trust me, the scores can come down to the 460 levels because the numbers say so. All right, next, here are some of the assumptions again. If only 10 to 15% people enter the pool with high CRS score, if the draw happens every fortnight with 3900 invitations and IELTS remain to happen only in selected regions, then there is a very good chance for the CRS scores to drop to 450 levels probably in 5 to 6 draws time. So why do I say 5 to 6 draws time? So basically in this range, I'm talking about 460 range, the number is 15,124, and for every draw, if they are able to issue 3,900, let us assume that to be rounded off to 4,000 invitations, then in 4 draws the total number can be wiped off, correct, provided only 10% is coming in. So I'm sure it will be very close to 460s. And if FSW draw continues to happen, then the scores might again come down drastically, right? So all these things, there are two things that you need to have in your mind. Number one, the number of people entering the express entry pool must be really less, like how we are having it right now. And number two, WES is also pretty slow. IELTS should also be pretty slow. And another assumption is that FSW should continue to happen every 15 days once, and they should issue 3,900 odd invitations. So if this is happening, probably in 5 to 6 draws time, we can expect the scores to come down to 450 levels. All right. So one important disclaimer which I want to say, these are all my predictions. This may be true, this may not be true, but looking at the numbers, this is what I strongly believe. So that was a quick analysis, guys. I hope you are able to figure out the numbers. If you are someone who's not so comfortable with the numbers, who are still unclear about how the whole thing is going to work out, and you don't understand how the whole express entry process works, so let me just put it in simple terms and let me illustrate it to you with a simple example. All right, I want you to assume a road. Okay, so a big, you can consider that to be a highway. All right, so assume there are two signals. All right, so signal A and signal B. So here signal A represents number of people are entering the express entry pool, and signal B represents ILs and the WES process. Okay, so what is happening right now is that since ILs and WES process are not happening, okay, and the signal was shut, which means the FSW draw was shut for quite some time. So what used to happen was, in signal A there is a huge traffic. Am I right? Because a lot of people, you know, they are waiting at signal A, and for 4 months the signal was closed, which means vehicles keep coming in but they are not going out, correct? So which means there is a huge traffic stuck at signal A, correct? And now after 4 months they have slowly started opening the signal, which means all the major chunk of people would go, correct? For signal A to be always crowded, signal B should also be open. Only then from signal B people can come to signal A, and signal A will be always crowded. But now let us try to understand what is happening. In signal A, the crowd is really, you know, there are a lot of people waiting on their into the pool, but just now the signal has opened and people are starting to move out. If this trend continues, what happens is that all the traffic would get cleared as soon as possible. Am I right? So once the traffic signal is open, I'm sure all the cars would go out slowly. And provided signal B remains shut, what happens is that there won't be any cars coming from signal B to signal A, or else I would say that there will be very few number of cars which will be coming from signal B to signal A. Therefore signal A cannot be crowded, so which means that the CRS pool in the score range 470 or 480 cannot be crowded. It has to come down to a certain level. So this is a simple illustration, guys. So if you are having the scores somewhere around 440s or 450s, and if you are expecting a miracle to happen, all you need to pray is that you have to pray that ILs don't resume early, right? So we have to, if ILs continue to get cancelled for the next 2 months, then if, and the second condition is, if Government of Canada continues to conduct FSW draws, then trust me guys, the score will definitely go down to the 450 levels, because we have a very good chance. And the 10% increase is actually nothing, because pre-COVID times the numbers used to be really high, the percentage used to be really high, but right now the 10% difference between the draws is nothing when compared to what used to happen pre-COVID times. That is purely because exams are not happening, profiles are not being created. All right. So if this trend continues for another 3 months, we could see the scores coming down to dream levels like 440s. Even the FSW cutoff scores could even come down to the 440s or 450 levels, provided all my conditions become true, right? But I really, I'm not sure whether the Government of Canada will bring down the scores to that level. It is purely in their hands. So they might put a pause to federal skill worker draw once the cutoff reaches this 460s or 450s, and then they might start doing the same CEC and PNP specific draws also. That is a possibility for that too. But let us remain hopeful, let us remain positive, and let us hope the scores will come down in the near future. So if at all you're trying to practice for your IELTS test, and if you're processing your education credential assessment, kindly do it at the earliest. And by the time you get a chance to take the examination, so try to crack that magic figure of 8 and 777. If you're having any issues, if you like to take our assistance, we are always there to help you out. You can get in touch with us and crack your dream score. Try to create a profile as early as possible, because not everyone who's taking the test will be cracking that CLB 9, CLB 10 score, correct? So if you are the one who's able to crack that, then you stand a very good chance. So that's it guys from my end. I hope you like this video. Please do share this with your friends who are there in the express entry pool or who are aspiring to get the Canadian PR visa, and leave a comment if you like this video, and give it a thumbs up as usual. And I'll be back with another video very soon, and until then, it is Ajay signing off. Take care. Bye bye.